Yeah, this screen is visible. I hope the slides are visible. Okay, the topic you are going to study is RFID in IoT. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Uh, Initially, you might have studied Internet of Computers. Okay, the expansion of the current Internet of computers to Internet of Things needs a network which consists of uh, different objects, multiple objects, which are embedded with intelligence. Okay, some examples you have seen already. So, any one example for IoT applications? The objects, embedded objects are intelligent. Okay. So there is a need of smart objects without human interaction. So what these objects will do, the objects gather internal or external environments. So there is a need to embed these the sensors into these everyday objects. So what these smart objects will do, they will sense the data, that is data sharing, data information acquisition, is sense the data. Then afterwards what they will do, they'll share the data, these objects share the data to the central processor. In the central processing unit, the data is transferred there. There actually the processing of actual data analysis or whatever is going to happen. This how this sensing is possible by embedding the sensors in these objects. So these smart objects should be able to communicate to acquire the data. So one of the example is RFID, okay, which is the earliest technology which uses electronics on an object. Okay, so these are the smart objects. So currently this technology is incorporated with smart objects for the IoT. Okay, coming to the working of RFID technology. So what do you mean by RFID? RF, radio frequency ID identification identifier, isn't it? So in RFID technology, how the data is accessed or received or sent, how transmitted or received. So here in case of RFID technology, the transmitted and received energy is in terms of radio frequency energy. So for the automatic identification of objects, RFID is used to identify the objects. So but the energy used is a radio frequency. So basically this RFID consists of two components. The first component is a RFID transponder. The second component is RFID interrogator. The RFID transponder is also called as a tag. Okay. The other name for RFID transponder is tag. Then RFID interrogator is called as the reader. So then what is RFID tag or RFID transponder? So it is an electronic circuit containing data and it is attached to the embedded object. Okay, what is this one? Tag. It is an electronic circuit containing data and it is embedded to the attaching object. Next, coming to the RFID interrogator. What is the other name for this? Anybody? RFID interrogator is also called reader. RFID reader circuit. Okay, here our interrogator is a reader circuit is relatively larger than RFID tag. So what it does, it reads the data wirelessly communicated to it by RFID tags. So what it does, the circuit with respect to this is slightly larger than the tags. It reads the data wirelessly communicated to it by RFID tags. Next, coming to the historical perspective. Any doubts anybody has? Okay. In 1906, demonstration of 2 kW 100 hertz alternator by Ernst Alexanderson was an important milestone in the development of wireless communication. So what he has developed, continuous wave radio generation and transmission. So which leads to the different applications of wireless technology. One of such application is EAS, that is electronic article survey as surveillance. Okay, so that is one of the earliest RFID based application in 1960. This is developed in 1960s. So what it is? So so it is an inexpensive and effective anti theft measure. Okay, so this is EAS is developed in 1960. So it is one of the earliest RFID technology application. So how it is used? So it is used for anti-theft measure. Okay, next coming to short range RFID technologies used in business and industrial applications. Okay, so in the 1980s, short range RFID technologies are used in business and industrial applications. In US, they were used for access control and transportation. So that is transportation with respect to the electronic toll collection. Okay. Short range RFIDs are used for access control and transportation in the 1980s. Next, in 1990s, these are used in RFIDs are used in transportation management, inventory, access control, and supply chain management, healthcare, and so on. Okay. In 1990s, RFID technologies are used for different applications such as transportation management, inventory management, access control, supply chain management, healthcare, and so on. So later, many companies all over the world actively involved in the development of these RFID solutions. So there is a requirement, there was a requirement during that time for the interoperability standards with respect to RFID. So based on this, in 1999, the Auto ID Center developed EPC, that is Electronic Product Code, with support from UCC, that is a Uniform Code Council, to serve as universal RFID system. Okay. So that is in around 1919, the Auto ID Center developed a EPC, Electronic Product Code. What is this? So many companies all over the world actively involved in the development of RFID solution. There was a requirement for interoperability standards. So this EPC is a one standard that is developed in 1999 by Auto ID Center with the support from UCC, that is Uniform Code Council. In excuse me. Okay. In 2003, Auto ID Center transformed into two separate entities, that is Auto ID Labs and EPC Global. So what is ID Labs? These are involved in research activities with respect to the RFID technology. Then EPC Global, so these EPC standardization, they are involved in EPC standardization activities. So can anybody tell me briefly what is the IoT? Why these developments are required with respect to RFID and IoT? This historical perspective with respect to RFID you have studied. So this RFID in IoT, how that is useful, RFID with respect to IoT, you have studied. So then can anybody tell me what is the need of RFID with respect to IoT? So what is Internet of Things main definition? A network in which data input to the internet coming from things and not from human beings. Okay, next coming to the data acquisition for IoT through RFID technology. The role of RFID in IoT, can be observed from the fundamental components of IoT. What are the fundamental components of Internet of Things? Yeah, anybody, you can, if you don't want to answer, just input, you can put it in chat box also. Next, fundamental components of IoT. How many classes over for IoT? Just mention the fundamental components of IoT. One or two. Ankit Agarwal. Yeah. Fundamental components of IoT. Can you name one or two? Ankit Agarwal. Aryan. Shrija. Shri. What is this? Shrija. Yeah. Components of RFID. Connectivity, yes, Ankit, connectivity database. Okay. Main components involved. What is the main job of the objects which are involved in IoT technology? I'm giving hint. Application fine. How the data is collected? What are the main components? How the data is collected? Sensors, correct. That is a sensing, correct. Sensors are the main components. Okay. Sensing, communication, then services. So sensing deals with the data collection, that is through the sensors, isn't it? Okay, next, communication. So after collecting the data is transferred to different the required unit. So that is, for example, if you consider the IoT with 10 sensor nodes and a central processor that is called as if you consider wireless sensor network, that is the main node is called as a sync node or base station. So this collected data is sent to there. Okay, from the sensor it is transferred to that node. So then this is processing of this data will happen. So this diagram you can see RFID reader, RFID, there are different RFID readers. Then you can see the tags, RFID tags. The data is sent to this server. Here, whatever I have mentioned is a sync node. Okay. Then which communicates, the server communicates to the internet. So for specific services such as data aggregation, real-time decision making, automatic identification provided by the RFID technology is most widely used functionality. So for data acquisition, how the data acquisition happens, here you can see the diagram. RFID technology provides the link between the physical world and virtual elements of the IoT. So experimentation is carried out by the University of Washington in building this RFID ecosystem. So how that experimentation is carried out? They placed RFID readers in 8,000 meter square building. Then tracking tags are attached to the persons as well as the personal objects using various low-level RFID data is transferred into high-level contextual information. So what do you mean by low-level RFID data? So this data is sensed from the person as well as the objects, personal objects. Okay, how this what RFID ecosystem developed by the University of Washington is an example of data acquisition for IoT using RFID technology. Next, coming to object identification in RFID technology. How this happens, actually object identification. Before continuing with this topic, can anybody tell me how this happens, object identification? What are the basic hardware used in RFID? That is readers and tags, isn't it? Readers and tags are the basic hardware used in RFID technology, isn't it? Okay, object identification using RFID. So basic hardware used in RFID are readers and tags. So how the communication happens with using this tags and readers? Readers and tags are equipped with antennas for communication. Then what is a tag? A tag contains a chip that stores a unique identification number. Okay, unique ID. You can see this unique ID. Tags contains a unique identification number. But chipless tags are also available where tag ID is encoded onto the physical structure of the tag. So then how the tags are classified? Last class you have learnt about this classification of RFID tags. What are the different categories of RFID tags? I'll give the hint. There are 3 types. Rahul Gupta. RFID tags classification. Anybody else? Anybody?
Ma'am, low frequency, high frequency, ultra high frequency.
Okay, but actual classification, last class you have studied perception with respect to perception layer technologies. Perception with respect to perception, you are going to study. I think you have studied the main senses, isn't it? Active, do you remember active, semi-passive and passive RFID tags? So RFID tags are classified into 3 types, that is passive, semi-passive and active. What is the difference? What is passive? Anybody? How semi-passive and passive are different from active? Semi-passive and passive tags are unable to generate their own electromagnetic fields for transmitting the data. Why? No power source in passive RFID, whereas in case of semi-passive, limited power. So when you consider active, the enough power sources available. So they can cover a large range area, okay, with respect to active RFID tags. So semi-passive and passive tags are unable to generate their own electromagnetic fields for transmitting the data. These tags communicate with readers by modulating the magnetic or electromagnetic fields transmitted by the readers. So then a magnetic field based tag reader interactions are updated based on load modulation. So how that is done? So a tag changes its impedance in step with the identification data to be transmitted. This variation with respect to the impedance value. Okay, impedance is sensed by the reader and interpreted accordingly. So this is how semi-passive and passive tags are working of semi-passive and passive tags. Good, Alok. No power source in passive RFID. Good answer. So next, based on these object identification, what all are the applications of RFID? The first one, you can see the RFID enabled passports. What do you mean by this? Anybody? Is access control. Isn't it? This passports, RFID enabled passports helps for access control. Next one, production process monitoring. What do you mean by this? So registering of manufactured elements or the components, then this will happen automatically by using the tags. So registering manufactured items in the production chain. So this registration is done automatically, that is automated by using RFID technology. Next, bagging mishandling incidents with respect to in airports. Okay. Baggage mishandling incidents at airports is also one of the applications of object identification using RFID technology. Then improved RFID acquired data. So it is possible uh, one important application of RFID is environmental sensing. So here the acquired data can be improved by improving the technology used with respect to RFID. Next, coming to the sensors of which are used with respect to RFID sensors. So these sensors, RFID sensors, can be enhanced to sense physical as well as a chemical parameters. Some of the physical parameters sensed by these are temperature, humidity, light, anything else? Some more examples. Yes. Temperature sensors, you have seen humidity, light, then movement of the objects, pressure. These are the different parameters, sense. Then with respect to the chemical sensors are used to sense the harmful gases. When we consider the health applications, that is to observe the glucose levels. Then one more application is pH level of bioprocess components. So motion sensors are used in wearable RFID. So how these are used? These are used to track the movement of wearer. With respect to the medical applications, you have seen many such examples. Mm. Can anybody give one example for a wearable RFID? There is a possibility of multi-sensors RFID tags also to acquire multiple parameters and process that data accordingly. We'll continue after 5 minutes. Yeah, see this example.